The NFL world just got shaken to its core. This isn't your average football update or locker room rumor. This is a full-scale revolution. The system has cracked, the balance of power has shifted, and the man at the center of it all has just made history. Shadur Sanders didn't just chase the bag. He redefined the entire concept of leverage in professional football. He's not playing the game anymore. He's rewriting the rulebook, and while everyone in the league scrambles to adjust, the Cleveland Browns are imploding under the weight of one man's ego. The chaos started in Cleveland, where the Browns' season has descended into something beyond embarrassing. 1 win and 5 losses. That's not a rough patch, that's an identity crisis. The offense looks like it's allergic to the end zone, putting up numbers so stale they could belong to a team from the 1950s. Week after week, fans sit through the same painful routine, missed opportunities, conservative play calls, and a head coach whose expression never changes as his team sinks further into the abyss. Kevin Stefanski's fingerprints are all over this disaster, and it's becoming harder to ignore the growing sense that he's losing control of everything. His players, his locker room, and his job. Every Sunday, the Browns look like they're sleepwalking through games. Their so-called offensive leader, Dillon Gabriel, is a safe choice in all the wrong ways. He doesn't push the ball, doesn't take risks, and doesn't inspire the belief that this team can ever come back from a deficit. His throws are checkdowns. His drives stall. The spark just isn't there. And meanwhile, standing quietly on the sideline, wearing a headset and a baseball cap, is Shadur Sanders, the answer, the energy, the future that's being deliberately held back. Inside that locker room, the frustration is palpable. Players know what the world outside is starting to realize. Sanders isn't just another rookie waiting his turn. He's the player who can change everything. The chemistry he shares with team leaders is undeniable. Even star defender Myles Garrett, the emotional center of this team, has shown where his loyalty lies. The moments caught on camera, conversations on the sideline, shared laughter, nods of mutual respect, tell the whole story. Garrett recognizes the presence of a real leader when he sees one, and the rest of the roster feels it too. The veterans believe in Sanders. They've seen him in practice, felt his energy, and understand that he's the spark this franchise desperately needs. But Stefanski refuses to pull the trigger. His loyalty to Gabriel has crossed the line from cautious to self-destructive. Week after week, he trots out the same game plan, expecting a different result. The losses pile up. The criticism grows louder. And now, even former Browns quarterback Cody Kessler has stepped in and said what the entire fan base has been screaming for weeks. He went public, laying out exactly what's wrong. The Browns are dying for a spark, and Stefanski is ignoring it. Kessler's comments hit the organization like a bomb. He didn't just suggest a quarterback change, he exposed the deeper issue. He made it clear that the Browns' problems go beyond X's and O's. The heart of this team has flatlined, and the head coach is pretending not to notice. Kessler pointed out what's obvious to anyone watching. Gabriel might be likable, but he doesn't have the it factor. He's cautious, mechanical, and predictable. Shadur Sanders, on the other hand, brings life. He brings chaos, creativity, and confidence. That's what Cleveland is missing. That's what real leaders bring to the field. Kessler even compared Sanders to what's happening in New York with the Giants. When they gave their young quarterback Jackson Dart a shot, everything changed. The fan base came alive, the team rallied, and the stadium turned electric. That's the power of belief. That's what hope looks like in football. It's not about perfection, it's about possibility. It's about giving fans something to believe in again. Sanders represents that hope for Cleveland, a chance to finally break the endless cycle of mediocrity. And yet, the man holding the playbook refuses to see it. Stefanski's arrogance has turned into a poison that's seeping into every corner of the organization. Reports have already surfaced about players tuning him out, veterans rolling their eyes in team meetings, and an overall atmosphere of frustration and distrust. The locker room has moved on emotionally, even if the coaching staff hasn't caught up. Stefanski's insistence on keeping Sanders benched feels less like strategy and more like ego. It's as if he's determined to prove a point, that his system works, that his decision-making can't be questioned, that his evaluation of players is always right. But the scoreboard says otherwise. The truth is ugly. This isn't about football anymore. It's personal. Stefanski didn't want Sanders. The front office did. When the rookie lit up the preseason, when he looked calm and confident against first-team defenses, when he showed poise that veteran quarterbacks dream about, the executives upstairs saw the future. They moved fast, locking Sanders into a massive contract extension that shocked the entire league. It was a statement, a declaration that they believed in him, even if the coaching staff didn't. And that's when the power struggle began. Stefanski never recovered from that blow to his authority. Ever since then, it feels like he's been on a mission to prove that Sanders isn't ready, that the front office made a mistake, that the hype is undeserved. But every passing week makes that stance harder to defend. The team is falling apart, the fans are furious, and analysts across the country are calling for change. The longer Stefanski waits, the more it looks like sabotage. Even the analysts breaking down film are calling out the dysfunction.
They're not just criticizing play calling, they're diagnosing a mentality problem.
The entire offense is built around fear. Gabriel plays not to make mistakes instead of playing to win. The routes are safe, the passes are short, and the entire unit is suffocating under the weight of conservatism. Receivers like Jerry Jeudy, once known for lighting up defenses, have been reduced to spectators. He runs perfect routes only to watch the ball go elsewhere. His production has disappeared, not because he forgot how to play, but because his quarterback won't take chances. That's where Sanders changes everything. Analysts have compared his mindset to Jameis Winston's, aggressive, fearless, and explosive. He's not scared to take a deep shot. He's not afraid of mistakes because he knows that in football, hesitation is the real killer. He's the type of quarterback who makes defenses nervous before the ball is even snapped. That mentality is contagious. It spreads to the offensive line, to the receivers, to the fans. It brings energy back into the building. It gives everyone a reason to believe that something special might happen on the next drive. But for now, the Browns remain trapped in a loop of self-sabotage. The franchise has a star in waiting, a quarterback who can lift the entire team, but the man in charge is too blinded by pride to see it. The team sits at 1-5, the offense is lifeless, and the fans are watching the same nightmare unfold every week. The pressure is mounting. The media is circling. Even the owner can't ignore the noise forever. The moment of truth is coming. Sanders won't be hidden much longer. The locker room knows it. The fans know it. The league knows it. It's only a matter of time before the dam breaks. When that happens, when Sanders finally gets his shot, the Browns are going to look like an entirely different team. The energy will shift. The offense will explode. The city of Cleveland will remember what it feels like to have hope again. Kevin Stefanski still has a chance to save his career, but only if he swallows his pride and does what should have been done weeks ago. Start the man who's ready. Start the man who has already earned the trust of the locker room, the belief of the fans, and the respect of the entire football world. Because if he doesn't, he won't just lose his job. He'll go down as the coach who stood in the way of a revolution.